All right. So I know it's a few days late, but I am finally back from my trip
Yes.
and I did watch House of the Dragon there in
Okay.
Arizona. In Arizona, I did watch it. So like today, all I was doing was rewatching it and taking down my note, doing in my notes. Do you have some thoughts? What are your initial thoughts before we go into the review? Season three, episode two.
My initial thoughts were I really liked the episode. On my first watch, I felt like it was jumping around a little bit too much, which is funny because on the last episode, I said they did a really good job of folk telling each person's story because there's a lot of threads right now. And obviously, they have to keep those threads going. But for some reason, and maybe it's just me, I felt like this second episode, it didn't flow as well to me. I still thought it was a really good episode, but it just the pacing or the structure of it and the way they jumped to different people's stories that I didn't love as much.
Do you feel like they did that to create that sense of, I don't want to say urgency, but the sense of tension and like almost frenetic kind of energy that Allison is going through to like that there's at that particular moment because there's such a short window with Aemon and Vagar leaving King's Landing and they know that it's like we've got to get this done and we've got to get to King's Landing and her trying to set up everything so nobody shoots on Rhaenyra
That that's fair. That
and
could
where
be
you
it.
almost kind of feel like anxious.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. Because and I
I
think
mean,
it was
that's
because a
I
lot
don't
of the
know. I'm just
fallout.
saying, like having rewatched it,
Yeah,
like yeah, I got the sense of like, oh my gosh, like let it. I mean, if again, if you're not a book reader, if you've not read the story, and you don't know that everything's kind of gonna go off with a hitch at this moment, you're like
right.
feeling like, oh my god, what's this
That
doing?
could be it because I didn't read the book. I didn't know what was coming, but because it's HBO, I expected something to go wrong at
Wrong.
some point. Like,
Sure,
oh, you're not going with an army, you're just going with you guys. And obviously, watching the new Rockstars video, I find out that they changed some things and the gold cloaks,
sure,
that was part of the, like, they didn't know. So I guess them walking into the throne room and everything else going on, maybe that's what it was. And then it would like jump to something else. And I'm like, well, no, no, go back. What do we like? That doesn't make any sense right now.
right,
But I thought the acting performances were incredible. Like when I say the episode, I don't mean like the
sure.
performance. Those blew me away, minus the one line that I was waiting for. And you might feel differently because you were waiting for it, but the line from Corliss, I thought they kind of just like shoehorned that in and then moved off it. And I was like, the weight of that sentence should have had a little bit more build up. And it's like the scene cut to them on the beach. Loved the beach scene. Ugh. Anyway, I thought that particular dot line of dialogue didn't love the way it was delivered,
Yeah.
but outside of that, all the performances, the action, absolutely loved it.
Okay, so what we got is we've got the opening the with the tapestry has been updated to show the Battle of
Yes.
the Gullet and its consequences, and we're immediately put back into the aftermath of the Battle of the Gullet. I personally think that is the body of Jace because of the dragon flying overhead to show that Bela is looking for him. I know that there's dispute on like who it is it really, but I'm like, I feel like that body floating in kind of the exact same way that he did at the end of episode one, and then the dragon flying over is kind of showing that she is circling and that when you do then get the cut to Bela flying with his body, you're not like, how did this happen? Like, where
That's
did this
fair.
come from? That's my personal opinion on it.
What'd you think of
Um,
those underwater shots?
right.
That was
The
amazing.
bastard dragon riders. I'm just gonna I'm calling them that because I'd be like Hugh and all if I could do that, arrive to torch the remaining boats and making sure that everybody
Yes.
is dead. Baylor flies home with Jason's body. His body is ceremoniously carried into the castle. Commander Laurent is kind of like, oh, how did it go?
What? That's crazy. Are we sure that's Jace or?
Can I just have one of the dragons fly me now? That'd be great.
Yeah.
Um, Rhaenyra like initially starts scolding Jace's body, which is heartbreaking because it's just the complete absolute
That,
denial that
yeah,
I've lost another
yeah.
child in this. Like this can't be happening. Um, her breakdown scene is, from my understanding, it took 10 hours to film, and they asked this actor who played Jace if he wanted padding because she pounds on
Oh,
her.
yeah.
He's like, no, let's keep it as real as we can. And he's like, I laid there and had her, crying over me for you. He's like that.
Wow.
He's like, that's really me. That's my body. Didn't ask for any padding, and we did that over and over again. She was just basically raw. Like her scene is incredible. I mean, it's
Incredible. Yeah, that was tough to watch, but I also appreciated it. Like, I was feeling things, but I'm like, damn, that was good.
yeah, like this entire episode, her emotional journey through this entire episode is, like I said, like we were saying,
Yes,
this isn't submitted for an Emmy,
it's gotta
it,
be. It's
yeah.
gotta be.
That's a tough one to like try to fight against if you're coming up against like I gotta give you
Right. Because like that, like her dialogue throughout it, and then obviously we'll get to it, but at the end as well.
yes, exactly. She erupts the entire council for locking her away and basically betraying her for this to happen. I mean, again, she's lashing out, rightfully so, at everything that's happened. I understand why her son did what he did, but and again, it's not in the book that's how it happened, but I understand them giving this part and kind of again, I think also people have to understand is this book was written by two or three different people's point of view. This can be looked at as just another version of the story that is happening. So I think we need
That's
to get
something I always forget.
to
And
right.
then we do this podcast and you remind me that it's not written from like first person. This is like someone is reading the history of it.
Right. There's like I think it's like three different people there, two or three different people there, their account of the Dance of Dragons. Um, so Commander Florent offers his life as a sacrifice. She denies him, but later she says, let him figure out a way to like figure out his own death. Um,
I would have been gone already. I'm gonna be honest. If I offer my sword, she scolds me in the council, and then she goes off and does whatever, I'd be like, "Okay, I'm leaving now. Where am I gonna go? I don't know, but I'm not going to be here."
right, I'm not be
I've already
around.
shamed myself.
Right, right. So we catch up with Alan looking for his father after the battle, and you just see him in a boat, kind of just shouting for his father. We have Lady Erin confronts Raina when she comes looking for asylum. Like it's the whole like, are you on a cell phone? Can you hear me? Like, I don't know who you are. Goodbye. Like I
Right.
don't know who you are or why you showed up.
Yeah.
Um, I thought Raina's confession was a bit weird because nobody knew. She like the only person that had known. I mean, obviously she didn't know, but the only person that had known was Jace that she was
Yes.
on Steve's sheep stealer. Bela doesn't know. But I still thought like when Lady Erin tells her, like Jacaerys has died during battle, and she was like, I didn't mean to do it. I just thought, girl, like nobody has accused you yet. Wait for the
Just
accusation
started
on.
confessing. Just started confessing. Like, no, no. Yeah, clearly she's never been in a situation like that. You got to deny everything.
Yeah, I
They
was
don't
just
got
like, oh,
cameras.
I was like, and then kind of in a way, I don't want to say threatens Lady Erin for a place to stay, but is like, listen, you see that guy back there?
I got a crash out back here with a cocaine jaw.
Like, oh, we're gonna be flying around. Like, this is his home,
Yeah,
and I would hate for you to deny him his home, like that kind
yeah.
of. So, yeah. So then we get to that everybody's celebrating, and like I predicted, I thought that was going to be the Battle of the Red Fork, because I said that even though that the Winter Wolves are not there and Daemon is not there because Jason Lannister died, that's what they were going to do, and can find out they're condensing the Battle of the Red Fork in the Lakeshore battle.
I know a
together.
lot of people online were upset about that,
Right.
but like we kind of talked about it last week, where they it's the budget, the time. Like there's no way. It's a lot easier to write about battles in a book than putting all of them on
Right. And I
screen.
implore anybody that is like is complaining that they're not including every battle, go on to the Ice and Fire Wikipedia page and count how many battles happened during this Dance of Dragon, and just ask me, uh, like, how long do you want these seasons? Like, how long do you want this series to be? Like,
Right.
and again, you're going to then have battles that aren't going to include people of, and I don't want to say of note, but characters that we don't know of, and you're going to be asked to care about them, and it would be tough to, I mean, because again, this is, again, there are people like I don't want to be. Like, it sounds terrible to compare this to the American Civil War. When that like that's not what I'm doing. But I'm talking about as far as it is a civil war,
Yeah.
and the amount of battles that took place in the United States during the Civil War. If anybody can tell me all of them, and not just the ones of note that they remember
It's
because of
true.
certain people, and certain I don't be like characters, but like certain historical figures, and we aren't aware of. I mean, we there are obviously there are historians
Obviously,
that
you
know
remember the
about them.
Gettysburg and Battle of the Bulge and all of those, but all there's so many, and yeah, you can't like the Battle of Shroot Farms. Nobody talks about that one, and
Right.
like I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot. I'm just saying there's just no way for the show to do them all. So yeah,
100%.
we had the combination of them. Um, the the Lord Strong, Sir Strong brings news that Jinx has died. Damon tells everybody to march south and most of you march south to King's Landing. I'll meet you there, but we do still need to kind of fortify Heron Hall, and then that kind of single that goes bad. And basically tells them just plow through the resistance anywhere you need it.
Yeah.
We have Caraxes drinking, which everybody loves.
I
I
don't
have
know
to say,
why I love that scene so much, and I'm glad that the entire internet agreed with. Well, like I'm glad that we all felt the same way.
yeah, and I have to say, Caraxes is one that, like, when I rewatched this, there were like certain scenes I'm like, okay, I can fast forward this because I don't need certain parts. Anytime Caraxes is on the screen, I love the sound he
Yes,
makes so much that I will watch all those scenes just
yes.
to hear that whistle and the clicking like that. I don't know why, but they did a great job for
No,
that
they
sound.
did sound mixing for the dragons is great. On the first
Yes,
episode, Sarah's like, "Why do they sound like robots?" I was like, "No, that's just like all the tubes, the
yeah,
windpipes. It just creates a whistle."
right. It sounds. I love, like I said, love that one's pretty much my favorite. Um, basically, Alice Rivers tells Damon to get out after she kind of denies her Heron of the Riverlands and Heron Hall. He's like, you don't have until we don't have any, like, what? We're not going to just give you this place. And
Yeah,
she's like, get out. Baylor returns to help Alan search for Corliss. They kind of have a heart to heart about their different versions of the man they grew up knowing or not knowing. And it kind of hints at their later relationship. I mean, that's not really a spoiler alert. You can
right.
kind of see why they put those two on screen to be like, not so much like, dude, his body's barely warm, but I mean, like, it's just to let you know that,
Yeah, I see why they did it, but also I was like, okay, like, come on now.
right? Yeah, I know it's a little quick, but it's
Yeah,
like I get because it's like we I don't know how many seasons they want of this, but it's like I think they know they're not gonna get 10, so they don't have time to like a whole bunch of relationship, which is a valid criticism of the show. Like they might be speeding through a lot because again, it is a lot and a lot happens, and they did not commit to making 10 seasons and write backwards,
I think that's
so
something that people have to remember. It's a valid
yeah,
criticism.
sure,
And you can be upset about the parts they choose to speed up, parts they choose to slow down, characters they choose to combine. Like I
right,
those are valid criticisms,
sure,
but for the people that just complain and say they should have done this, they should have told this, like you see how big these books are.
right,
Like you have to take a step back and try to be a little bit realistic.
right, exactly. And it's the thing is like people also have to remember that Fire and Blood, the Dance of the Dragons is not a huge part of the book. It is a part of the book, but it's a book that's like this thick, and Dance of the Dragons is like this
Wow.
much, so it's not even there's a lot, it's about the entire history of the Targaryens.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, yes, this is important, but they go through a lot.
Right.
There's a lot more history than just this. It just
Yeah.
happens to be very notable because of what happens. Um, so see Smoke and Adam find Corliss. He has a heart to heart, obviously with all of them there. Laris and Aegon are still traveling. The Triarchy attacks the House Black soldiers and they attack back in kind of a way. And he says, "I want to get to Rook's Rest," which I believe is where I was going to say, guys, where his dragon is still kind of laying there.
I didn't love that escape just because it seemed too easy. Like the guys that captured you should have, at minimum, tried to kill you if they saw you escaping.
Right,
And then the Triarchy would have looked at you and been like, "You're not one of us, and you're
right,
here." So, like, it felt too easy when it should have been there were two enemies, and neither of them were on your side, and you
right.
have a cripple and
A cripple,
two cripples were
right?
able to navigate through that. Like, both of you should have died within like
And
30
in all
seconds.
fairness, Aegon is not really in the book at this point. He's
Gotcha.
not really, he's very much a non-character after his injury until later things happen, which I'm not gonna spoil for people, but he's not. Like they just gave him just because like I think he's a familiar face, and so we have got to give him something to do.
Yeah,
So this is what we did. But he's just very much a non-actor in this part of the book.
gotcha.
Corliss obviously says the line with a lot of without a lot of even kind of emotion or fanfare. It's just kind of
Yeah,
like it just kind of seems like well, which it should have. It just doesn't have the emotional punch that it should have.
he should have
But it
been
did.
looking out at everything and said it with like
I think it would have been better delivered in the
last
first
week.
episode, right? In the first episode, with him still standing on a boat looking at all the destruction.
Definitely agree.
Right. So like this, yeah, just kind of fly. It just kind of lays there. That line just kind of lays there. Does give Alan his name. Alicent does see Aemon leave on Vagar, spreads the word to Gold Cloaks to stand down. Daemon returns to find the Bastard Riders not still waiting for Vagar. He scolds him, and that's kind of still setting up the fact that they are going to turn. One or two of them are going to turn against House Black. We see him and Massaria finally have a scenes together after you know he promises to get her out of jail and then kind of
That
quit.
little love triangle cracked me up. Their interaction in the hallway and just knowing the dynamic of all of it made me chuckle.
Yes. They both are like kind of whining and crabbing over how much influence Alicent has over Rhaenyra. Like that's
Yes.
like they're as picky as they want to be at each other, they're like combining forces to get mad at a third person.
Yes.
He's told
The
that
love
they
triangle
are
is actually a love cube.
or quadruple.
Yeah.
Um, he's told about Vagar leaving and heading towards the Riverlands and says that he'll go. We have a scene with Alicent and Sir Rickard Soren, which you find out later he's the one that kind of um, squeals on her to Lord Jasper. But Rhaenyra and Daemon talk about sheep stealer. She's unaware that Rhaenyra was the one writing it, and she's like, "Hunt this writer down." And Daemon's like, "Will do." Kind of interested in seeing how that's going to go because again,
Same.
that's not like the sheep stealer was not. Oh, sheep stealer was at the battle, but
But
was
it
not
wasn't.
responsible for Jace's death. So it's kind of a weirdness that they're mixing into the show
I
with.
have a theory. Well, I have a theory. I heard a
Go ahead.
theory. The theory I heard is that Damon ends up turning into Batman, doing some investigative work, finds out that it is his daughter, and basically lets her live and do her thing, but makes her change her name to Nettles.
I like that theory. I like that theory. That's they're gonna have to change that from the book because Raina is there in the book, so that would be an interesting on how they're going to handle that. Like if it'll just be like, oh, this is just, I mean, like they could also
Yeah.
just write it off as like, oh, this whole thing is just such tragic moments. But hey, we've got another dragon.
One thing I did find funny is, and I've said for a long time, people on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, have been saying like Damon has always been locked in on the war. Like no matter what, he's always like, what's the next move? What's the next move? So they have this scene with Rhaenyra mourning the loss of her son, which 100% she should be doing. And Damon's like, yeah, and that's tough. Anyway, let's get to
Right.
work. And like
Yeah.
just their interaction of her being like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And him being like, no, Vagar's gone. Let's go.
Yeah.
And
Like,
just the contrast between the two. And it's like that man does not take a day off.
no, he doesn't. And they're not his kids. I mean,
Just
and I'm not
locked in
saying that
all the
that's
time.
right, but
Yeah, also that.
yeah, because he's like, well, I mean, like he's got to be like, well, like they don't know too much about where their kids are at the moment, but it's like, okay, well, your two kids are. I mean, I'm not saying that he's like, well, your two kids are out of the way now, so it kind of clears it for our kids to get the throne. But I mean, like they aren't his kids.
Right.
Does feel um sort of a desperation after having seen the visions in the Riverlands about Daenerys, and the
For
White Walk
sure.
and stuff like that. So he's like, listen, I've seen the future, and his line is right. Do you want them to die in vain? Like we can lay here, but the window is
Yeah.
closing, and your ass is supposed to be on the front. Like what are we doing all this for? Like we're now
Yep.
losing tons and tons of people, and for what? Like this is we gotta go.
Yep.
Allison is confronted by Lord Jasper for betraying the kingdom. I'm not thrilled with, like most people, with the assault scene because I think they tend to fall back on that um, as kind of a crutch to
Yeah,
show
I wasn't
how
a fan. I
women
was
are at
uncomfortable with the scene. Yeah.
like we get that Allison has been
In
manhandled
like
by
it's I think the
several
fact that it's a
men,
fallback, it's not the first time.
right?
Yes.
And it's like it's just we get that she is being used by several men in the kingdom, whether it be her father, whether it be the king, whether it be
Yeah.
Kristen, whether it be her sons. We get it. Like she is at the mercy of men. I just wasn't a big fan of that. I just thought it was kind of dumb. Master Orwell
100%
Leslie
agree.
has him arrested. Rhaenyra tells her council she's heading to King's Landing with Daemon and bastard riders. He admonishes them again. He gets another lick in at him, pokes the one in the forehead. um, Alice and Helena tell the soldiers not to fire
Yeah.
upon Rhaenyra when seeing her. We see Kristen and Gwaine see Vhagar fly to Harrenhal and decide to meet him. Aemon swoops in, killing the troops and the rest of the stronghold. Gets stabbed by one of the Strong's grandsons and pleads Alice Rivers to help him.
That scene, that scene where he stabs the old strong man played out exactly how I thought it was going to be with his mom. They're super close. You know the dagger's there. You see his POV and his eyes get big. I literally paused it and was like, they just shot for shot did exactly what I thought was going to happen to Allison.
You just predicted it an episode too early. That's all it is.
Yes.
Um, so he
Like
pleads,
they shot it exactly the same.
right. Yeah, exactly the same. Um, yeah, they just flip positions.
Yeah.
um, but pleads to Alice to help him. And spoiler alert, those two are going to hook up later. I because really kind of her knowing that she has no land, like she has no title, no standing. It is rumored that it might not even be rumored. It might be in the book that she does get pregnant by Amy. So, I forgot
Damon
exactly.
wasn't wrong. Like obviously she deserves something, but yeah, she asked for a whole castle and Damon like is like, who even are you?
Right,
Like
right, and then like he kind of like, oh
you
shoot,
have enough, like we're not giving you
Yeah,
castle.
when Hugh and Ulf kind of talk about like why they left in a later scene, and they're like, "We saw a witch," and he's like, "Oh crap," like he should have remembered too that she's kind of a witch, which is kind of crazy that like you denied somebody who has power. Like that's anyways.
You could have just pretended and been like, "Oh, we'll definitely take that into consideration."
Sure. Yeah, I'll run that up. I'll run that up the chain. We'll see. Rhaenyra shows up.
Yeah,
Folks are
that's all you
scared.
had to say.
Right. I'm gonna go check with my manager. Rhaenyra shows up. Folks are scared. Alicent and Helena try to flee, but they're dressed at the nines, so they're easily captured. Damon shows up, hacking down anyone opposing. Goldcloaks stay loyal to Damon, allowing her to take King's Landing.
Yes.
She demands Aegon, but finds he's fled. Damon is given more Jasper by Orwell, but then he realizes that some other guy says, "Hey, Lara Strong left somebody for you," and he's led to Otto, where he finds it very hilarious. He tells her, "Hey, somebody has to be beheaded for you to show that you mean business and that you deserve it.
Yes.
That somebody has to pay publicly for this." And everybody, all the boys have fled, and he's left. Like this, you have to do this. She obviously beheads Otto after her second try, and traumatized, she makes her
Yes.
way to the throne, and Alicent sees her beheaded, is led in, and sees her beheaded father on the ground. Um, Great acting by Emma in this episode from beginning to
Yes.
end, because she's never really given a chance to grieve before they show her. I love that when she tells her counsel that she's going to King's Landing to take to go take King's Landing, she still looks rough. Her eyes are red. She does not look good.
Yep.
It isn't like they made her up and it's like, and now she's like, she struggles to walk up to that throne. Like she is there. This has been a very, very traumatic experience so far. And it's the whole, is this even worth it moment?
And that's what I loved about it. I loved about it is that it wasn't a triumphant walk up the steps to get what she, I believe, and other people believe she deserved and was owed. And I saw some people complaining, like, when it came to time to behead Otto, like, he is pretty much one of the main catalysts for what led to the war. You should have been happy to behead him, but it's like she, like you said, had, and when she finally gets to the moment, you can see it's like, was it worth it? You've
Mhm.
lost two kids, friends, like so much has been lost that even though Otto definitely deserved it and it deserved to be at her hand, of course she's going to be shaking and have her eyes closed on the first swing and stumble up the steps. Like that, to me, was exactly how it should have gone. I there's only been a few people that have complained about it, but I think the majority understands the weight of everything that was on her shoulders, and also the blood reflecting, seeing that POV, just everything about that scene was just 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it shows very much like she was appalled in season two when she found out that Damon had a little boy killed, like in place of
Yes,
her son.
yes.
Like she
Yeah.
keeps thinking like there are people that deserve it. Like obviously, Aegon deserves to be beheaded. He usurped me at the throne. Like him even being a child in this, like it still is him. It's still he's still the king. That's the one I have to go after. He's the one I'm fighting against. Even Aemond with him taking out Luke. Like she's like these. I'm not. I'm never calling for violence, but sometimes it has to happen. But now I'm being asked to
Yeah.
not only, yes, I mean she does hold Otto responsible for this, and yes, he is responsible for it. But again, she also grew up with this guy. Like this was her
Yep.
best friend's father. They were all in very close quarters growing up together. Like she is now has to like look this guy in the eye who, yes, is responsible for a huge part of it, but now has to like now I have to behead him. Like This has become the
Yeah.
reality of and I think they kind of show that in the previews for this next episode is once the realities of the kingdom start to fall on her, like when it's not just you just get to sit on the throne and look pretty, and it's not as easy as it was in my father's day. And like when he was ruling, it was pretty much peaceful and there, like
Yep.
now we're going to enter in a period where still the majority of the kingdom is split as far as who their allegiances are to. They're going to be broke because that's what wars do, as we well know.
Yes.
So it's like until you have allegiances and you have money that are all like now like the crushing weight of, and now I have to be responsible.
Expectations.
Yeah, like she couldn't. You could see that she was never, because like she had every right to probably take the head of her commander back
Oh yeah.
when Jace's body, but she couldn't do it then. And she even
Yep.
tells them on the way out, like, make him figure out his own death. Like, I'm not even going to be responsible. Like, I'm kind of even turning over that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to be responsible for people's death. There's two that I hold very responsible. They have to be killed. But these other people are just never part of the deal. Like, even then, like, um, Damon took the one guy, Lord Jasper's life. Like,
Yeah.
she wasn't even asked to do that. He was just
Which
like,
is in contrast to Game of Thrones, where there's the whole scene where Stark is telling his boys, and he does it himself, where like it falls on you to be the one to do it. Like there is a whole scene dedicated to that, and
right,
then it's brought back with Jon Snow later on. Like it is well established that like it is on you to do it, and then you see her passing off a lot of the responsibilities of carrying that burden of being the beheader. Like, yeah,
right. Like it's like I didn't sign up for all this. Like I should have been queen, but this is
yeah,
like now the reality of what that carries with it is a lot different. So yeah,
exactly.
great episode. Um, yeah, I mean I think it's the highest rated one right now. I think it's a little higher than episode one rated on IMDb.
9.4, I think,
Four, I
is what
believe,
I
yeah,
saw.
9 point.
9.4 with 9.2 for episode one, 9.4 for this one with 30,000 reviews.
And I think a
That's
lot of
pretty
it
good.
falls on the Emma Darcy's for acting.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
yeah.
100%.
So it's yeah, it's pretty much I don't want to say she carried that episode, but she pretty much carried that episode. It
She
was
created the
all
episode.
it was all of like her emotional trauma because again, she's never
Yeah,
been given a moment to breathe and grieve, and like I immediately lost my son and now I'm being told I immediately have to take King's Landing or this will never happen again, and is this even worth it? Like I keep doing this and I keep losing kids, it's worth it. And then I
yeah,
finally do, and then I'm having to kill more people. Like I just can't like
yep.
yeah. So I think, like I said, it does fall on her shoulders, but I think rightfully so, and I think she did an amazing job.
Incredible.
Yeah. Considering all of these, like I think they said like between Alicent and Aemon, there's 5 year difference between the actors themselves, their ages. So it's like
Oh, I got you.
yeah. So I think Emma and her Jace, I think there's a probably bigger gap there, but
Yeah.
yeah, which may I guess helped not make. I mean, even though the kiss between Aemon and Alicent was super awkward, at least it wasn't like pedophilia ish.
Right.
Small celebrations here, small
Yeah.
victories for this. But yeah, no, thought it was good. Again, they are rushing through some things which again are just it's that's just the way it's going to be. Like if it really bothers people, then I would suggest stop watching it because it's not going to slow down. It is going to now we're going to get kind of more in the politics of the situation where there are going to be battles because there are going to be more people to die. And again, it's not a spoiler. to know that there are no dragons around in House of the Dragon, when Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is around in Game of Thrones. We know what we're
Yep.
marching towards, and this is the genocide and wiping out of the dragons. It is going to get rough, people. Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna get rough. You're going to lose the majority of all of the main characters.
Yeah. And we've been barreling towards that. We've known from the beginning for the most part. So like, yeah, it's we know it's coming.
We know it's coming, and it's like it's yeah. I mean, and it's because multiple people are going to be like, again, she does not stay on the throne long, and that's not a secret.
Yeah,
Like, that's not a secret. So it'll be interesting how, what, because again, I think like The Last of Us suffered when they lost Pedro Pascal, in it. It'll be
yeah,
interesting to see how this show and series carries on when bigger and bigger names start to be booted off. So
agreed.
yeah, so yeah, good episode. Um, looking forward to next week. Don't want to rush through it too fast because then we get into August and then December.
Yeah.
Plus today, the reason we're going to end this too is we do know what 3 episodes came out today.
Yes, I am so ready. Ready to see my X-Men again. It's been a
Right.
long two
So
years.
we're actually going to cover that too, if you want.
Yes,
Yeah. So we
100%.
gotta watch that this week. I think the 3 episodes came out today, and then we don't have. I
Yep.
think we get one on the 8th, one on the 15th. I think there's like 2 of them for the end.
I think so. I think it's a double finale.
Yeah, I think how many episodes are there total? If there's
My computer's going slow. I wish I
yeah,
could tell you.
I think there's 8. I think
I
there's 8.
That's what I wanted to say. I feel like 8 is like the golden number now with shows, but
Right.
I
And I
don't
think
know
it's
for sure.
3-1-1-1-2, but that's without me checking. But yeah, so we're gonna sign off and we're gonna start watching that.
Yeah.
So good time, good time. Movies coming out and stuff being about to show. So we will see you later. Bye.
Yeah.